2023 Year 2 OP Common Test 1. In the first sum, we are to expand and simplify the following expressions. This is a test on the distributive law. So we have now, since the expansion come after a negative sign, we need to enclose it in brackets. Using the for method, the first term multiplied by the first term will give us 2x squared. And the middle term, we have the inner minus 6x and the outer plus x. Minus 6x plus x is minus 5x. And the last term, minus times plus, is minus, and 3 times 1 is 3. Now we need to open up the brackets and multiplying the sign. So we have minus 2x squared. Minus times minus is plus 5x. And minus times minus is plus 3. Now collecting like terms, 5x squared minus 2x squared is 3x squared. 2x plus 5x is 7x. And then the last term is 3. When we expand and simplify, we don't factorize the result. The result should not have any brackets. In the next sum, we have a binomial multiplied by a trinomial. To do that, we first take x and multiply every term in the second brackets by x. So 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. Minus 5x times x is minus 5x squared. And minus 1 times x is minus x. Once we're finished, we look at the second term, which is plus 3, and multiply by every term in the second brackets. So 2x squared times 3 is 6x squared. Minus times plus is minus. 3 times 5 is 15x. And minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. So once again, collect the like terms. There's only one x cubed. So we have minus 5x squared plus 6x squared, which is the same as 6x squared minus 5x squared, which gives us a positive x squared. Minus x minus 15x is minus 16x. And then we end off with a minus 3. Now we'll move on to the next question. In the next question is on the factorization. The first part is to factorize out the common factor. Looking at the numbers, the common factor is 6. Then the a term is common. B squared and b, so the common factor is the lower power b. And c is not common. So now what remains in the bracket is, after taking out 6ab, we still have a b in the brackets, because b times b is b squared. Minus, well, we take out the factor 6, so left behind a 3. And ab is taken out, so left behind c. Now we will take a look at how we factorize using the for method. When we factorize using the for method, we only make use of the first term and the last term to determine our terms in the brackets. So for the first term, we have 3x times x. first term multiplied by the first term in the brackets will give us the first term in the answer. And then for 8, we have 2 times 4. Notice we did not put in the sign as yet. We can only determine the sign after we are sure of the middle term. The middle term is 10x, so let us work out the inner, which gives us 2x, and the outer, which gives us 12x. Now this is a plus 10x, therefore we have a plus 12 minus 2, that will give us a 10x, positive 10x. That means the outer term is positive and the inner term is negative. In the next part, we have to use the result we have in the first part to factorize the expression in the second part. This is because of the word hence. Hence meaning that you need to use what you have factorized to factorize this expression. Now when you examine the expression, it is similar to the previous expression. So we have 3 times x squared and 3 times m plus 2 squared, and then plus 10x plus 10 bracket m plus 2, and then minus 8. Now, so basically x is replaced by m plus 2. That means the answer x will also be replaced by m plus 2. So our result is similar to the first expression, where we have 3 minus 2 and this plus 4, taking the same form, 3x minus 2, here 3, the x is replaced by m plus 2. So x in the expression is replaced by m plus 2, so x in the answer is replaced by m plus 2. We need to simplify. So we have 3m plus 6 minus 2, and on this side we have m plus 6. So it works out to be 3m plus 4 multiplied by m plus 6. We now look at the next sum. Here we have an inequality. Inequality solved in the same way as an equation. So what we need to do now is using the distributive law to expand the left hand side and the right hand side remains the same. Now we need x on this side, so we get rid of the 10, so we minus 10 and we minus 10 on this side. So we want the x term to be on this side, so we subtract 3x, leaving behind 4 minus 10, which is minus 6. And here we have minus 5x. Minus 2x minus 3x will be, because we subtract 3x on both sides. Now, this is the part that is different from an equation, meaning that to get rid of minus 5, we divide by minus 5. And when we divide by a negative, we have to reverse the inequality sign. This is the only thing that is different in an inequality. So here we have 6 divided by 5, which is 1 and 1/5. The answer must be in mixed number. Now we need to represent it on a number line. So the number line is an x-axis and it must be equally spaced out. So starting at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is 1 and 1/5, which is here. Now, since 1 and 1/5 is the expression is more than 1 and 1/5, so 1 and 1/5 is not included. So we use a open circle because 1 and 1/5 is not included in the answer. It is more than 1 and 1/5, shown by the arrow. So this means it's more than 1 and 1/5, and 1 and 1/5 is not in the answer. So there is an open circle. And if you notice, the greater than sign has the same direction as the arrow. We now move on to the next part, which is a problem sum on an inequality. This is about cost and quantity. The total number of apples is 20, and apples and oranges together is 20. So x is the number of apples, therefore the number of oranges will be 20 minus x. Apples will be x. Now, one apple costs 60 cents. So the total cost of the apples is 60x. One apple, 60 cents, x apples, 60 times x. Similarly, we have 90 cents for an orange. So 90 cents times the number of oranges, which is 20 minus x. Okay, and this is the total cost, which is $15. Now, since we have put our expression all in terms of cents, therefore we have to put the right hand side as 1500 cents. Not more than means less than or equal to. Now we'll solve this. Opening this up, 60x plus 1800 minus 90x. So here is minus 30x is less than or equal to 1500 minus 1800 will be negative 300. So once again, we are going to divide by a negative number. Dividing by negative 30 to remove, so we need to reverse the sign. Okay, so 300 divided by 30 with the sign cancel off will give us a 10. Therefore, the minimal number of apples here is more than 10, but the minimum number of apples is 10. We'll now move on to the next sum. In the next sum, we have a pair of simultaneous equations. The first equation is a fractional equation. We need to rewrite it into the linear form. Therefore, to do that, we multiply by 12 on both sides. Multiplying by 12 and multiply by 12. When you multiply by 12, we can cancel the denominator. So we have multiplied by 12 and cancel the denominator, giving us 4 bracket 2x plus 1. And on this side, we cancel, we have 6y. Let us now rearrange it. So that we have the same format as the second equation. Now what we need is also 6y in the second equation. Since we have a 6y here, we need a common term of 6y to remove it. So we multiply equation 2 by 3. And that gives us 3 times 3 is 9x. 3 times 2 is 6, negative 6. And 5 times 3 is 15. That gives us the fourth equation. Now we have a common term in 6y. And when the sign is the same, we subtract to remove it. So we will take equation 4, subtract equation 3. So we have 9x minus 8x is x, and this part will disappear. 6 minus minus, right? 6y minus minus 6y will be 0. And then 5 minus minus is plus, so 15 plus 4 is 19. We need to show our substitution. X is 19 into equation 2 to get the value of y. Okay, so 3x, so x is 19 plus minus 2y equals 5, equation 2. And if you simplify this, you have y equals 26. In the next sum, we have a graph question, and the first part requires us to calculate the unknown value of y when x is minus 2. So m is the value of y, and we need to find out what is m. We substitute into the equation. So the equation is 2x, and x is negative 2 plus y equals 5. But y here is m, so we need to replace it by m. So this works out to be m is 9. So you need to show your substitution into the equation to work out the value, because the question asks us to calculate. So similarly, calculating the value of n, where y is n and x is 3, now using this new equation, x is 3 and y is n. So we have 3 minus n equals to negative 2, and this gives us n is 5. Now that we have the completed tables, we can use it to plot our graphs. When we draw the graphs, we need to pay attention to certain aspect of the graph. First is the scale. The scale is 2 cm to 1 unit on the x-axis. When we see a 2 cm is the size of one big square. So on the x-axis, 2 cm, that is the size of one big square, represent 1 unit. And on the y-axis is 1 cm to 1 unit, which means 2 cm to 2 units. So 2 cm is the size of one big square, 2 cm representing 2 units. Right? 1 cm, 1 unit means 2 cm, 2 units. So 2 cm is the size of one big square. After we have determined the scale, we need to see how we fit in the graph. In order to do that, we need to look at the table of values and determine the smallest and the highest value. Remember that in our previous table, the highest value is of y is 9 and the lowest value is negative 1. Okay, we can see here, right? Lowest value of y is negative 1 and highest value of y is 9. So we need to determine how the graph look like by drawing a rough sketch. Maximum 9 and minimum negative 1. And for the x-axis, we have negative 2 to 3. Right? So it's negative 2 to 3. That means we have to draw the x-axis lower down. So this is what we do. Make the x-axis lower down. Right? Now a properly labeled graph where you label the y-axis and you take note of the arrowhead. Label y-axis, and we also label the equations. And we use X to mark our points. Numbers on the y-axis on the left, and numbers on the x-axis is below the line. Now, often some boys will forget the origin. Okay, don't forget to write the origin. Right? So the arrowhead for x-axis and the arrowhead for the y-axis. So all this labeling costs marks. Now we move on to the last question, which is a question on a problem sums in simultaneous. So we need to form two equations. Two men bought cups at X dollars each and Y dollars each, respectively. Now this is a cost and quantity sum again. So he bought 5 cups. The first man bought 5 cups. 1 cup is X dollars, so 5 cups is 5x dollars. And 3 plates is, 1 plate is Y dollars, so 3 plate is 3y, and this is the total, which is numerically 20.5 or $20.50. Must make sure that here is an equation $5, $3, and on this side is also in dollars, $20.50. We don't put units in equations. The second equation is similar. We have 6 cups. 1 cup is X dollars, so 6 cups is 6X. And 6 plates is, each plate is Y dollars, so $6 is the total cost for the plates. Total cost for the cups plus total cost for the plates will give us a total of $33. And these are our two equations. And now we are to solve it. Again, we need to look for a common term. So we see that we can create a 6y. So we multiply the first equation by 2. So 5 times 2 is 10, and times 2 here we have a 6y. And on this side we have 20.5 multiplied by 2, we have 41. We call it equation 3. Now we have a common term in 6y, so we remove it by taking equation 3, subtracting equation 2. So equation 3 minus equation 2, we have 10x minus 6x is 4x. And 6y disappear. 41 minus 33 is 8 on the right hand side. So this gives us x is 2. Now we substitute x is 2 into, well, equation 1, and we have 5 times 2, equation 1 is 5x and x is 2, plus 3y equals 2050. And if we simplify it, we have y equals 350. So now we can find the cost of each cup and each plate. So each cup costs $2, and a plate costs $3.50. And that completes the discussion on the common test for OP. Thank you very much.